Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Knight of Squires and welcome back to another episode of Warhammer Total War 2 Multiplayer. Today we have a match between Balian97 playing the Wood Elves, Bretonnia and the Empire versus LunacyOfFenris playing the Dwarves, the Greenskins and the Lizardmen. So we've got some nice ranged and melee lined up for you here today. And we're going to jump straight into the first battle, which is the Wood Elves versus the Dwarves. So it looks like on Balian's side, we've got the Glade Lord Lady with a riding on the dragon, Sporific Breath. We've got a couple of units of the Wildwood Rangers, some Glade Guard, 3 units of Deepwood Scouts, a couple of units of Wild Riders with shields, and a couple of units of Wild Riders with the Hagbane tips. On LunacyOfFenris' side, we have the White Dwarf himself. Grombrindle has occurred and has decided to turn up. We've got 2 units of Dwarf Warriors, 2 units of Longbeards. We've got a couple of units of Blasting Charge Miners, the Dragonback Slayers. Some could say the most or least successful Slayers of all time, depending on your perspective. They probably don't like it particularly, but no. They're still here. We've got a couple of units, 3 units in fact, of Quarrelers, an Organ Gun, 2 units of Fire Drakes, and then a couple of Gyro Bombers, one of which has a Brimstone Gun. So we're just going to pause this here to look at the deployments and look at some of these units. So the Wild Riders having Frenzy means that they're unlikely to run away due to being shot multiple times by the dwarf artillery over there. This is not a hugely great map for Balian. There are not a lot of trees here, and it looks like the dwarves have hunkered down by this KoS rock over here and have just decided to chill out and stay there for a bit. Balian's army is very mobile, however. We've got 2 units of Glade Riders out here with the poisoned Hagbane tips that should, hopefully, if they can get them in, do a lot of work to prevent a lot of damage coming in towards the rest of this Wood Elf army. We've got a couple of units of Wildwood Rangers here with their bonus versus large and armor piercing damage dealing. These should be really helpful. The bonus versus large, not going to be hugely helpful. There's not a lot of... I don't think there's any large units in the Dwarf army aside from organ guns and other artillery pieces and the gyrocopters, but obviously the gyrocopters kind of pick their own engagements. There's a lot of archers here. I see a lot of firepower. Deepwood Scouts having, Vanguard deployment. I am surprised they've not been Vanguard deployed, honestly. They're all sitting here quite nicely. They've got a decent missile strength, but they're lacking a little bit in armor piercing capacity, so that's probably gonna hinder them somewhat. Looking at their unit card, they have a grand total of only 4 armor piercing damage, so that's not going to be a huge amount there. To make up for that, however, you have got 2 units of Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts that have a good armor piercing missiles and good range. They should certainly help a great deal. The fire damage, not going to be super useful, but might help here and there. The Dragonback Slayers will have a little bit of an extra defense against this as they're resistant to fire damage, but that's only 1 unit. Then you've got the Eternal Guard with shields. Again, another anti-large unit and charge defense against large units. I don't necessarily see these doing a whole lot, but they have got a decent armor piercing stat on their melee weapon, so that's going to be good for really chewing through some of that armor on the dwarves. The shields will also be helpful, as that will prevent a lot of the missile fire coming in, which I think is what the Wild Riders with shields are here for. This dragon is going to be really helpful. I can see it doing a lot of work. It's got the poison attack. It's got magic attacks to avoid some of that physical resistance. It's got armor piercing weapons to really chunk through some dwarf armor here. He's also got the Prey of Aneth Rimar to lower some missile resistance and make units stand in place. Not a huge bonus versus dwarves, who don't tend to move around very much anyway, but when they do, it's always nice. The Sporific Breath attacks, on the other hand, 3 shots, powerful explosions, good versus large combatants and large squads, but it's particularly strong against a single unit, which there aren't many of other than the the White Dwarf and the gyrocopters. The Eye of Kuranus giving a base plus 10% missile damage is nice, but I can't see the range being good enough with a mobile force like this. You're going to struggle to get the units close enough to the Lord to really be able to pull it off. Looking at the dwarf deployment over here, honestly, it looks a little bit of a mess. You've got this straight line here of miners, dwarf warriors, and longbeards. Then the Dragonback Slayers are kind of squished in on this side behind an organ gun. Grombrindle's standing out front looking very pleased with himself with his ability to give unbreakable to his entire army temporarily with the White Dwarf knows no fear. Then you've got Quarrelers here, and I think over here, squished in here behind the Dragonback Slayers. Fire Drakes at the back. I think the Fire Drakes were kind of here expecting more tree men and more of a flammable component, but unfortunately that's not the case here. Miners with blasting charges are really good at disrupting defenses. They're also good against gates, but that's not super helpful here. There's a lot of armor piercing in this dwarf army that's not going to be hugely useful. But the dwarf warriors and the longbeards having armored and shielded means they're going to really tank some of these incoming wood elf shots. So there's a very refused flank coming on over here. It looks like something's been fired. I can't quite tell. I guess we'll see when the missile lands over here on probably some of these Glade Riders. So without further ado, that's the deployments. I'm not entirely certain what's going on with the dwarf mess over there, but I figure they'll sort themselves out in a second. Let's begin the battle. Zoom out slightly. We can see what's going on. So at the moment, nobody moving. The dwarves are reshuffling themselves. I think they've realised that it's getting a bit messy at the moment. Oh, it's that smear was some KoS stuff shooting out into the warp. The wood elves aren't moving. I think this is kind of trying to psych the dwarves into coming to them. Unfortunately, the wood elves aren't the ones with the artillery pieces. I don't know what the range is on the organ gun, but I don't know if it's long enough to affect the wood elves just yet. But the dwarves are rearranging themselves into a tighter, more defensible formation, but I don't think the wood elves are going to psych dwarves into running at them. I don't think that's going to be what happens here. I'm not entirely certain what's going on. Nobody is moving. Why is nobody moving? Nearly a minute of the battle, and here we go. There we go. The wood elves are now advancing. All of their archers have decided to run on and advance, with everybody else kind of durdling. There we go. We've got some spearmen and the Wildwood Rangers following them up. The cavalry are moving. I think it's just a micro issue at this point. I imagine this side will start moving soon. Unless these are going to be a counter-attacking force. The gyrocopters have decided to come out and say hello. This might not be wise, given the amount of ranged weapons over here. These might just fly out and get themselves shot. These are definitely better at picking off artillery or kind of trying to lure people in. But I think what's going to happen here is they're going to get shot off the map very quickly by these Glade Riders, who are going to isolate them, Hagbane tip them, and then they're not going anywhere. There we go. These engagements have started. These gyrocopters are firing in with that brimstone gun. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. That guy just ate a round all on his lonesome. But those Hagbane tips, slowing the speed of these units, really going to be a problem. Limping back, having probably, I would say, lost that engagement. Let's not lie here. They lost that engagement. The brimstone gun, the gyro bomber's on its way. Brimstone guns a little bit in front, doing a bit of a loop-de-loop. But the rest of the dwarf army is not moving. We're doing a very dwarven tactic of we're gonna just stand here. There's a lot of dancing around in these two lists. The wild riders haven't moved since the battle began. Arrows of Kuranus trying to launch into the gyro bomber here. It's just not a lot that one of the gyro bombers has gone down. The gyrocopters has gone down, and the organ gun is firing into the Glade Lord, I believe, which is not the ideal target for it. That gyro bomber needs to drop them bombs really soon or he's going to lose all the points for him. There we go. That's some shots from the organ gun. The gyro bombers limping back to their lines to draw everybody in now. The Wild Riders are on the move. The Archers are on the move. In reality, let's be honest here, what needs to happen? There we go. The organ guns firing into lightly armoured cavalry. That is half health to that unit. Straight off the bat. 2/3 dead. Here comes another volley. Oh, and it's crashed into the Wild Riders as well. Oh, that's rough. These gyro bombers doing a good job of just ducking and weaving and avoiding these shots. Some of these Glade Riders want nothing to do with what's going on here today. Oh, it's a lot of archer fire coming into these gyro bombers. One of them's he's breaking. He's going. He's done. Bye-bye. He's dead. He's not quite, but he's not gonna. Yeah, he's gonna turn around, do a bit of a jig, and the other one eats yet more bombs. I think he dropped one on nothing, or is that one of the? That's one of the gyrocopters. He's piecing out. The problem with this tactic is there's the green line right here. Massive damage done to those quarrelers by that sporific breath. I know it said it's good against single targets, but holy hell. The Wild Riders with shields have come round the back, but these Dragonback Slayers are exactly looking for these nice, juicy, large targets. These miners are going to start chucking some bombs in a moment, I imagine. This Glade Lord is just sitting here getting shot over and over. There seems to be a theme in this tournament of my Lord is going to stand in front of a Dwarf gun line. I think people assume Lords are much more durable than they are. Starfire shafts coming into these Fire Drakes. They're not quite in range, otherwise I imagine they'd have unleashed flame by now. The Wildwood Rangers, these armor-piercing infantry are exactly what the Dwarves want to be removing at this point. 2 units of them's got to be scary. Here comes the flamethrowers. And torch a large chunk. That is some nice damage. Quartered that health bar. But these just constant Deepwood scout shots and Starfire shafts just coming in over and over and over again. These Iron Drakes are saying good night, no thank you, we don't want this. But they've pulled off this unit. Nope, they've all flanked in. Here they come. Eternal Guard. That's a nice hammer and anvil charge here. Eternal Guard and the Wild Riders into the back of the Dwarf Warriors. But here is Grombrindle. He has had absolutely none of your nonsense today. There's a lot going on here. Look at all of this blood soaking the dirt here in these Chaos Wastes. Fire Drakes raining death over their own warriors. Oh, that's a lot of chatter going on there. This Glade Lord still standing here while this unit of Quarrelers just says, okay, I'm just going to gun you down. And now they're wavering. Taking lots of shots. This organ gun's going to finish them off in probably another volley if it decides to. I don't know what's going on here. And broken. She's leaving. Oh, not quite broken, but she's definitely not sticking around. There's the organ gun. Wavering and broken. There's some miners with blasting charges having broken. Getting absolutely pummeled in archer fire. But the balance of power steadily ticking into the dwarf's favour. Their units there. This poor unit of Wild Riders all the way over here is just getting chased down by this particular gyro bomber, all on his lonesome. The Dragonback Slayers made short work of those cavalry. Here comes another unit of Wild Riders, and they're broken. That immune to psychology from the frenzy didn't last overly long. But there's still, these archers are getting to fire all of their ammo over and over again into this dwarf line, and it's really telling. Like, those miners are not coming back. Half health, half health, half health, half health, basically like quarter health left. These warriors, these are Longbeards, come with the backing of Grombrindle, are coming after these archers and have decided that they're not going to catch them. They're just eating arrow after arrow. While these Fire Drakes, there's only 4 of them left, but I tell you what, they are making a name for themselves against these Deepwood Scouts, who, unfortunately, these are the ones who just don't have the armor piercing to get through Iron Drake level of armor. Like, these guys are armor 125, they are not having it. The Longbeards are shaken, they're wavering, but they're still here, and Grombrindle, and that's a close defeat. I don't know what happened there, but that was let's be honest, it wasn't going well for the Wood Elves. There's a lot of dwarves left over this side of the field. Whoa, I thought that was a relatively close game, honestly, but it seems that Balian decided he wasn't having this anymore. Whew. Let's go to the end screen and we'll see what's up. 48 kills on the Glade Lord. The Wildwood Rangers, not a huge number of kills. The Glade Riders, got no kills in either unit. That is rough. Shooting at the gyrocopters, probably not the best target for them, but when you're presented with it like that, there's not a whole lot else. See, all three Deepwood Scout units had a moderate number of kills, nothing outstanding on either side. The Wild Riders really needed to get more kills than this. Over on the Dwarf side, Grombrindle killed 29 guys all on his own. This unit did absolutely nothing before getting routed off the field and killed one dude. These Fire Drakes killed 24. These got 20. The Organ Gun getting 126 kills is probably what clinched a lot of that. There was a lot of killing done by this Organ Gun alone. Longbeards, neither unit of Longbeards did much. Neither unit, to be honest, none of the Dwarf units did a lot. Their ranged firepower did a substantial amount. The Gyro Bomber getting 13 kills. Low kill counts on just about everything except the Organ Gun, which really made a name for itself today. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next replay in this. It is 1-0 to LunacyOfFenris. Please continue watching and join me in a moment. So in this one, it's Bretonnia with Giles Le Breton, a huge stack of Spearmen at Arms, a unit of Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, 2 units of Questing Knights, 3 units of Questing Knights, some Grail Knights, Royal Hippogriff Knights, and a Trebuchet. Blessed Field Trebuchet. This is a lot of infantry, surprisingly, for a Bretonian list. But there's a decent chunk of cavalry in there as well. Orcs, we've got Azag the Slaughterer, couple of units of big uns, some Goblin Spears. I think these are the Nasty Skulkers. I'll have a look when we get to the deployment. Spider Riders, Pump Wagons, Wolf Archers. There's a lot of mobility here. There's some Boar Riders, a couple of units of Orc Archers, and a Squig Herd. This is a surprisingly mobile force for an Orc army, with Azag the Slaughterer leading it. I think to counter the Bretonian mobility, LunacyOfFenris has gone for some mobility of his own, some light cav, and then a couple of units of heavy cav just to maybe get a hammer and anvil. The 3 units of big uns are going to be, hopefully, on his sake, hopefully going to carry a lot of this brunt. There's a lot of Questing Knights here, which are, I believe, Questing Knights are anti-large. We'll double check when we get in, but we will have a see when we get there. The units of Knights of the Realm, Knights Errant, and Grail Knights. It's a lot of lance cavalry. So let's have a quick look at this. So what we have here is this unit of Grail Knights are armoured and shielded, anti-large, with, I believe they've got Lance Formation. Yep, Lance Formation, the Blessing of the Lady, giving physical resistance until their leadership breaks, and they are immune to psychology, making that really difficult. Perfect Vigor is also a really interesting one, is that they will never get fatigued. So, you know, this unit will just be able to charge and charge and charge all at full speed every time. Knights of the Realm, on the other hand, also anti-large, with the Lance Formation giving, you know, the plus 12% charge speed, 36 charge bonus, accelerations, etc. At that point, there's King Luan Leonka over here. This is where the rest of this Bretonian army is. I think this is a flanking force designed to come in and take out giants and things like that in case they turn up. There's 2 units of Questing Knights here, armor-piercing anti-infantry. This is what you want versus Greenskins, a lot of anti-infantry units. They tend to bring a lot of infantry just to sort of swarm you out, and Questing Knights are also immune to psychology. These Spearmen, expendable, anti-large, charge defense against large foes. This is one solid wall here of, please, you're not coming past. The Blessed Trebuchets don't have friendly fire. That's That's handy. Armor-piercing missiles. That could be really rough. And 231 missile damage with armor-piercing magic shots. You can't argue with that too much. King Lowen is on a horse. I've often see him on a hippogriff, but today he's on his horse. He's a melee expert, armored and shielded with the Lion's Shield, which gives him huge resistance to both magic and missiles. Stand your ground, basically meaning that his units have got decent leadership, which is going to be really handy with this huge peasant line we have here. Foe Seeker, Beloved Son of Bretonia, which gives map-wide bonuses to base weapon damage, melee attack, charge bonus, and gives everything immune to psychology. That might be where the immune psychology is coming across most of these units. I believe that's only... Is it? Yep, it just hits everything. That's really good. The Ladies Champion gives him a decent regeneration until his leadership breaks. Blessing of the Lady for that physical resistance. He's just a machine. An absolute machine. We should see him probably do quite a significant amount of work here. Again, with more questing knights in lance formation. These guys are immune to psychology because being close to King Lowen, I assume this is only a range. It does say map wide. I'm surprised it's not affecting everybody. But right here at the back, we've got the Royal Hippogriff Knights, flying monstrous cavalry, cause terror, armor piercing, armored. That's what you want. These guys are going to do huge amounts. Over here on the Orc side, we've got the two Goblin Wolf Riders and the Spider Riders all on one flank, obviously looking to sort of sweep through this forest and maybe come around behind the Bretonian lines, not knowing that the Bretonian lines are all the way over here. We've got two Snotling Pump Wagon War Machines. I've never seen these actually be played, but I'm really looking forward to it. With their armor-piercing, anti-infantry, expendable, decent bonus versus infantry, and decent armor-piercing. Like, you can't argue with that. They've also got Pump Harder Lads, increasing this unit's ability to knock enemies back while active. Gives them charge bonus, charge speed, general speed, and then they're also, as it says, expendable. They've got some decent stats. I'm quite looking forward to seeing these just rattle into some infantry and get mullered, but it'll be fun. The Squig Herds. Squig Herds. Anti-infantry, damage dealing, armor piercing. These are not going to be hugely useful against all of the archers, all of the cavalry that Bretonia brings, but they do a decent amount. Black Orc Big... Oh, they're all Orc Biggins, Orc Biggins, Night Goblins with... they've got... Oh, is that Fanatics? The Loons of the Eight Peaks. They've got Fanatics. Oh, dear. Well, that's going to be a problem for everybody. Causes armor-piercing damage, small moving area of effect, strong versus multiple units, unpredictable release. Yep, that's going to be fun. These guys are unbreakable. This is and Stalk, so he can't. So Balian can't see these as they go. They've got poison attacks and shields. They're going to be really dangerous because they're not going to be seen by the trebuchets until they're basically on top of them, and those tightly packed spearmen at arms are in a lot of trouble from them, I think. Then there's some more goblins on that side and on that side, just to keep the cavalry off the flanks. Orc Arrow Boys, and then two Orc Boar Boy Biggins. There's a lot of B's in that word. They've got Bigger and Ardor, which gives additional damage, etc. It's gonna be some really hide in forests, same as everybody. Armor piercing, bonus versus large. These are going to be the anti-cavalry. I think these are going to be the absolute monsters against cavalry. So, without further ado, let's get to a position where we can see most of the battle, and let's begin. So, straight off the bat, Balian not moving. LunacyOfFenris is pushing forwards. He's obviously seen that the Bretonians are over here. And there go the first rocks straight into these goblin spears and hitting a couple of the squig herd as well. Not doing a whole lot, but these goblins have lost 9 guys. The pump wagons are coming through the woods. Azag getting a little aggressive. Not entirely certain what's going on here. I assume he's coming in for a spell, but just eating artillery into the face. Luckily, not an easy target for artillery shells, especially from arcing things like trebuchets. The Royal Hippogriff Knights are, kind of trying to lure him out. Azag is getting a little aggressive. I think a Purple Son of Xerius might be on its way in a second, which could be really, really, really painful. The light cavalry is about to discover all of the heavy cavalry over here. This could be really bad. These are both bonus versus large. They are about to just cut into this light cavalry. And the infantry for the Bretonnians is moving. These are hitting the light cavalry. Oh, that's a lot of arrows coming into those cavalry units. I don't know if anybody's dead because of the woods, but this is a lot. Oh, that was a nice block from those trebuchets. Luckily, they don't do friendly fire, otherwise that'd have been a Grail Knight dead. Here come these questing knights. They're all going to chase that off. They need to be careful of these night goblins, because if those loons come flying out into this, that's going to be a problem. In the meantime, I don't know what hit that, but that unit just took a pommeling. That must have been a spell from Azag. That's rough. The Royal Hippogriff Knights and Azag are just kind of standing here, but the questing knights are going in. Over here, we're getting a lot of arrows. They're coming into the side of these big uns. Oh, that's exactly where those questing knights wanted to be. The loons have come out and done huge damage to these questing knights and the Grail Knights. And off they go. Splat. Leonker is getting eaten by archers. These arrow boys have just shot him a bunch, but his regeneration should tackle that. The Hippogriff Knights have completely encircled Azag, and he's popping one of his bonuses just to try and keep himself alive. Down here, the pump wagons have been engaged by the questing knights, along with these goblin spears. These cavalry don't want to be standing there too long. A lot of these cavalry have now been engaged. These are orc biggins engaging questing knights. It's not a great deal for the orcs. What's units broken here? The questing knights are wavering. There's a lot of arrows coming in from this side. Let's be honest. We've got some wolf riders on both flanks and the spider riders. The unit of night goblins are now free, and in comes some more of those blessed trebuchet shots, absolutely hammering into some of those wolf riders on that flank. The cavalry have pulled back after having done quite a significant chunk of damage. There's 8 and 9. Your troops have uncovered hidden foes, and we've got the orc boar boys have come in. Azag is running off the map, chased away by the Royal Hippogriff Knights. That could be really problematic for the orcs. Him fleeing is just not what they wanted right now. But if these questing knights don't move, this is not the fight they want. Into charging orc anti-large boar boys. This is not where they want to be, especially if these goblin spears come and get a full surround off. That could be both units of knights errant and questing knights just eaten, and it looks like that's going to happen. The goblin spears have just completely enveloped both of these units along with the boar boys, but the hippogriff knights have come in behind to try and really help out. This unit of questing knights getting shot down, and there is the war. Azag is returning. Azag's war means that everything causes fear and terror now. That's going to be really problematic for a lot of these low infantry units in the Bretonnian roster. Cavalry are just getting shot to bits left, right and centre. Shooting while moving on these wolf riders is doing a huge amount given that they're skirmished. The Grail Knights doing alright, but taking a lot of damage. They're about half health. They've lost a few of their models, only the 10, but it really puts a chunk down in what's going on. Scrolling back, the Bretonnian trebuchets are happily just firing away all as they can, removing. I think they're going to try and pummel some of these wolf riders, who are running a little low on ammo, but they've made every single shot count at this point. 2 dud shots. What's going on over here? Those questing knights errant. I don't know where those questing knights went. They might all be dead. No, they're over here. There is 11 of them left, and the spearmen are just eating them alive. I don't know what's going on here, but those spearmen are just going to murder them if they carry on. Boar boys sitting around not doing a lot, while the knights errant have recovered. Anti-infantry not going to be hugely good against them. More arrows into these poor units. These Royal Hippogriff Knights are getting shot down, along with Leonkur is here as well. He's going to be regenerating decently. Azag over there, regenerating slowly. He's not doing... Oh, he's popping some other buffs, and in he comes. He's coming in again. We've got some more arrow boys. That unit is fleeing. They might come back, but I'm not going to count on it. Over here, we've got the Spearmen at Arms. We've got a couple of units coming back, trying to encircle the Orcs. I don't know what's going to happen here, but Leonkur's getting shot. The Hippogriff Knights are getting shot. There's a big clog over here. The entire Bretonnian infantry and cavalry lines, Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm, into these poor Night Goblins, who are unbreakable, so we're just tying everything up. The pump wagons are coming in. Let's see, is he going to get a charge off of the pump wagons? I really want to see this happen. Let's go, lads. Smash. Oh, poor guy just went flying. And then the pump wagons start just like unleashing stuff all over. More pump wagons, and here's the boar boys. That is the Knights of the Realm broken. I don't know if they're going to be able to escape in time. The boar boys have done massive damage. Azag is up there giving leadership buffs and all sorts of other buffs down to all these orcs down here. Those Knights of the Realm may escape. They have done. There's not a lot of them left. There is 17 out of 60. Grail Knights, not the engagement the Grail Knights were looking for. More big uns. Here's the Hippogriff Knights to come and try and save the day. Chasing off Azag, who is looking like he might escape them. He's got a speed of, what's that, 110? 110 versus their speed of 93, but he's decided to come in and eat these Knights of the Realm, which might be his undoing, honestly. That might be the end of him. These Hippogriff Knights have got him down. He needs to get up and get out of there, otherwise he might just die. He's got some space, and he's up into the air again. He can probably outrun them from there. The pump wagons coming out, coming in. These Orc Arrow boys just shooting more and more into this engagement. Units just dying. There goes the Grail Knights, broken. There's like 7 guys left, and they are fleeing for the hills. That's really unfortunate for the Bretonnians here. Another unit's breaking. The balance of power is tipping. Leonkur is doing alright. The Hippogriff Knights are doing okay, but now there's arrows coming their way as they chase Azag around. They might be about to lose another model. There's only 5 of them left. Azag stands still to get them to clump up a little. These arrow boys have decided to take a jog. I don't know where they're going. All the way back there, those arrow boys have recovered and are... I don't know why they were broken. I think they're chasing these spearmen at arms away. Oh, we got some more charge from the snot wagons. Snotling pump wagons. Go on, are you going to charge? You are going to charge. In the back. No. No. It's just... Oh, that poor guy. Here they go. Into the back of this fleeing unit. Crunch! Crunch! Yeah, they're not coming back. Azag has broken again. I think he's probably dead. He's got 210 HP. A single arrow might just be enough to shoot him off the map. He's fleeing. There's 5 of the Hippogriffs chasing him. But it looks like... Oh, some Knights Errant coming in. Broken up a little by those Snotlings, but into these Orc Biguns, who... Big damage dealers. Not great versus cavalry, I don't think. Leonkur's here as well. I think this might go alright, but the Knights Errant dropping like flies. 8 of them left, 7. Just not getting the kills they needed. I think that might be it. Here comes some Wolf Riders to seal the deal. Where are those Bretonnian cavalry? Where have they gone? Is there any of them left? These are silent. The crew is completely run off. None of them are destroyed, but the crew are completely run off. There goes the Knights Errant. There are 7 of them. They might survive it. Leonkur is completely surrounded by orcs. He's trying desperately to push his way out. He might be about to break. He's regenerating health, but he's losing it almost as fast. And he has escaped. He's pulled out But it won't be long till the archers just start firing into him again, and he's going to take huge chunks of damage. He must be nearly reaching the regeneration cap. There come the arrows, back in. Health goes start going back down again. He's running, unfortunately, towards more arrows. The Hippogriff Knights are back. I think Azag is gone. Azag has fled off the map, which is a huge blow to Orc morale. The balance of power still not looking good, though. There are 6 allied troops. There are 6 Bretonnians left, and it is those 5 Hippogriffs who are now trying to come in and take out these arrow boys, and Luanker, who is steady but exhausted. Bless him. These Orc Biggins are going to try and head him off. These Hippogriff Knights are doing immense damage. 1100 HP left. Luanker's charged in, but I think they're going to get round him again. They're going to just surround him. These arrow boys are broken. They're not coming back anytime soon. The Hippogriffs might just harry them and chase them until they run off the table, or they're going to turn around and try and save Luanker. There are 6 Bretonnians left versus 600 Orcs. This is a tight game. This is close, but I don't see how Luanker can actually kill enough Orcs on his own. He's broken, and that's it. He breaks, and that's it. Without him, there isn't enough to carry on. What a game. What a game. But with that, LunacyOfFenris is 2-0, and there won't be a game 3. Wow. Looking at some of these kill counts, this Snotling Pompwagon got 120 kills. This one got 59. They did absolute work just charging into all these infantry units and just kind of pushing them around for a bit. The Grail Knights got 161 kills, predominantly on Biggins and the cavalry, the various cavalry that was running around. Knights of the Realm got 107. These two basically tag teamed everything they could find. Whereas the Questing Knights, this unit got 62. I think they were bogged up with Biggins for a long time and just had some absolute whale of a time murdering them. The infantry, obviously as expected, did very little. The Knights Errant, again, anti-infantry didn't do very well there. As a general rule, the anti-infantry didn't do as well as the anti-large in this engagement. Which is surprising given that it was predominantly infantry in the Orc list. I mean, there was, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of infantry. But, you know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Looking at the 8-peak loonies, that was a 45 kills. I imagine most of those were, in fact, the fanatics that came flying out. The Biggins got 74, 36, and 31 kills. This unit did work. Azag got 116 kills. I think a lot of them were on the Man-at-Arms where he cast a wind spell and just murdered them all. And the Forest Goblins didn't do great, but the Wolf Riders, 62 kills on this unit. They earned their gold back perfectly. So, unfortunately, as I say, with LunacyOfFenris winning 2-0. There won't be a Game 3 this round. That is a win for LunacyOfFenris and a loss for Balian. So, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to close this down. I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you will tune in for the next episode, for the next set of battles tomorrow. Thank you very much, and I will see you then.